Hey everybody, thank you so much for tuning back in. I'm Rashida A. Marshall, and in today's video, I wanted to share some information as to why proper nutrition during pregnancy is so beneficial. So I'm gonna jump right in just to some facts and some information regarding that, and then we'll go into a couple tips as to how you can make sure that you are watching your overall diet and nutritional status while pregnant. So both overnutrition and undernutrition are considered to be forms of poor nutritional status during pregnancy. Of course, you want to make sure that you are eating enough to sustain the new energy requirements that you have as a pregnant mother, making sure that that fetus can develop in a healthy environment and get all the nutrients he or she needs. And then overnutrition can also lead to an increased risk of developing certain complications during pregnancy, and it can also increase the baby's risk of developing complications as well later on in life. So looking at both of those sides and making sure that you find a good balance of getting enough of what you need and getting what you need without going into excess. And it's also been shown that the first 1,000 days of life are very, very, very important for the overall healthy development. So that would be like from conception all the way up to 2 years. So looking at the moment that you are aware, you know that you're pregnant and doing everything you can during that phase. And then once baby is here, and making sure he or she gets what is necessary so that they can have healthy development later on in life. So those are really, really key points. So again, poor nutritional status can lead to complications that can go on after pregnancy. It can affect a mother long after she's been pregnant, and it can also affect a baby once he or she reaches adulthood. So in terms of the ways that it can affect the mother, it can increase her chances of developing cardiovascular disease later on in life, developing gestational diabetes during pregnancy, which could lead to diabetes after she's given birth, hypertension as well, hypertensive disorders or complications during pregnancy, and then possibly having hypertension issues later on in life afterwards. And it can also increase the chances of preterm birth and might also play a part in postpartum depression as well. So, and then on the end for the baby, it can also increase his or her chances, and just as I had mentioned earlier, of the baby being overweight or obese later on in life. It can cause for a larger size baby when the baby is born. It can cause certain neurological dysfunctions in terms of development. There are many other complications that can be caused by poor nutrition. So those are just different ways that you see that it affects both mother and baby, indicating that it's so important to make sure that you're getting what you need and eating the right foods while pregnant. And what's also even cool to know is how the baby is growing during those 9 months. So there's different things that are occurring during the different trimesters. So during the first trimester, you begin to see that the baby's brain starts developing faster. That's also when the heart begins to form into 4 distinct chambers. And that's also when you see the muscles begin to develop in the baby. And then you go into the second trimester, that's when the organs are beginning to form a bit more. And as you move into the third trimester, that's when the baby is able to store his or her own nutrients. They're able to begin that. And you also see the skeleton begins to calcify and harden. And so you see these different ways that the baby is developing, and the proper nutrients play a role in each one of those stages. So making sure that everything is met through the diet so that the baby can develop in a healthy manner is really, really important. So here's my dog. So some ways that you can work on that during pregnancy is, of course, number one, to try and maintain a well-rounded, nourishing diet. So you want to make sure that you're getting your carbs, your protein, and your fat, and try not to cut anything out of your diet. It's also important to increase your nutritional intake the way in a way that goes along with the pregnancy, and making sure that you have enough energy. Also making sure to pay attention to specific nutrients such as folate, iron, zinc, calcium, vitamin D, and protein's really important as well too, because during the second and third trimester, you want to start to really increase your protein intake. The third trimester is when it's at its highest in terms of how much you should be getting, and that's because when there begins to be a much faster increase in the growth and development of the baby during that second half of pregnancy and towards the end, and protein plays a large part in that. So making sure that that's something you pay attention to as well. It's also important to limit excess fat. Of course, your fat intakes are going to increase naturally because that's a part of the growth process, but during pregnancy there's also an increase in your blood lipid levels, and that is to also support the growth of the baby. So of course, there's going to be an increase in your blood lipid levels, and you're going to be taking in a little bit more through your diet, but you don't want to do it in excess because then that could lead to complications. Such as an increased risk of cardiovascular disease and things like that. So just making sure that you limit them, get what you need, but limit your fats and try to get healthy fats in your diet as well, like your omega-3 fatty acids. Work with a nutritional professional if you feel that maybe you are not at the ideal nutritional status to sustain as healthy of a pregnancy as you'd like, or if you know that getting a proper diet and getting your nutrients is something that is a struggle for you, then you could work with a nutritional professional who can make sure that you have an idea as to what you should be eating and can help you plan for that as you're going through the pregnancy. I'm sorry, but he wants to play right now. We're almost through with this video. Go. So starting early as well is very key when it comes to having a well-rounded diet and working towards getting the nutrients you need. So preconception nutrition is something that you can start at any moment if you're not pregnant, making sure that you pay attention to the same tips that I just mentioned in terms of a well-rounded diet, getting the nutrients that you need and getting enough of what your body needs. Because those beginning stages of pregnancy are so important for helping the development of the baby, you can see why making sure that you go into pregnancy with enough nutrients will also lead to positive outcomes. The baby will be able to receive the nutrients that he or she needs because you have it already stored in your body, and then you won't be deficient either because you are making sure that you get everything that you need and you started early. So that's really, really important and something to think about, and will be a video later on as to why preconception nutrition is key. So we'll talk about that. But that is my video for today in terms of prenatal nutrition and the benefits of that. Again, these are just some general tips to help you kind of making sure that you're focused on the right things and making sure that you do everything that you need to do if you are pregnant. And for those of you who are not pregnant yet but are looking to become mothers, these are things to definitely begin considering to ensure that you create the best environment possible for you and your baby. So thank you all for watching. Of course, if you have any questions or comments, please feel free to leave them in the comment section, and I will be sure to get back with you. So thank you for watching. Bye. Bye.